All right, we welcome everybody in once again to another exciting edition of the Ronald Norred Show. Rob Kendall is my name. Thank you for joining us. We are at Hoosier Pizza, right at the corner of 136 and Northfield Drive in beautiful Brownsburg. Marathon gas station shopping center where all month long, stop in, order a 16-inch pizza. They give you a free sub. And at this time, we say hello to the coach, Coach Norred. How's it going?
Going great. Glad to be back.
It was an exciting weekend to be a Bulldog, wasn't it?
It was a complete Bulldog.
It was interesting because we were talking before the game with some of the fans, some of the folks that have seen the good, the bad, the ugly with Bulldog basketball, and they were saying, hey, win or lose, it's exciting time to watch the team, and great energy again at the stadium on Friday night.
It was fantastic. I think we haven't been home very much this season, and just to be back home and, after a long time away and coming in and seeing our fans, and they were excited about the game, and I thought the crowd was great the whole game, and I really think that, the crowd brought energy to our team, and our team was excited to be playing back at home again.
Okay, so here's my first hypothetical question for you. I guess it's a real question, but we were noticing that Kyle Thompson, is listed as 6'7". The guy on McCutcheon's team, the big dude, Lockwood, I think was his name, was also listed at 6'7".
One of those is not right.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out because we said somebody's either fibbing or has grown since the roster was put out. Can you confirm Kyle Thompson is 6'7"?
Kyle Thompson is 6'7". I would say Lockwood's probably 6'9". That's a big guy.
Yeah, he was a head taller than Thompson, and that's not often we say that. So we were just trying to confirm who had made needed the roster correction. You guys really did a nice job of dealing with that height differential because McCutcheon had a few big guys. Yeah. Game plan, did you plan that out?
Yeah, we knew that they run a lot through Lockwood, who's their big kid, and they run a lot of cross screens, they run a lot of actions to get him the ball right in the post. A couple things that we wanted to do against him were keep a body on him and make it difficult for him to score, and also just sag in the paint and make it, as soon as he catches it, make it difficult for him to get any kind of looks. And then we would play inside out that way. So
now explain for our folks who are Bulldogs fans but maybe not basketball aficionados, what does sag in the paint mean?
Well, we took the guys that were guarding away from the ball. So the ball's on one side of the floor, their man is on the other side of the floor. Their responsibility was to stay in the paint and not stay out on their man. And we do that so that there's less room when Lockwood, the big kid, gets the ball to score. And I thought we did a really good job of it.
Now, we'll get back to the game in just a second, but, we had talked last week about what a Twitter superstar you are. Yeah. And Jeff, our man here at Hoosier Pizza, can confirm that because after you tweeted out about Hoosier Pizza, he had a flood of followers come in.
That's awesome. That's huge.
The power of the Twitter,
It's really powerful nowadays. People, they follow it, they like what they see, and then they I think Justin Bieber started the whole Twitter craze. When he started tweeting the places he was going to be, everybody went there, and I think it's all followed suit since then.
Well, we love Bieber.
So do I. I'm a huge Bieber fan. I really am. I'm not embarrassed to admit that one bit.
So Bieber, who else do you listen to?
I'm a Bieber guy. I'm a big-time country fan. So I like all kind of country. I also like Christian rap, and I listen to Christian rap a lot, and any kind of Christian or gospel music. Those are kind of where my music allegiances lie.
Now, you played a masculine sport in basketball. I'm finding it hard to picture you having the Bieber cranked up in the Butler locker room.
You know what? There's a couple guys on the team that don't mind the Biebs, and I'm not going to name any names like Rodney Clark or anybody like that, but there's some guys on the team that like Biebs. I never blasted it in the locker room, but I kind of kept it on my headphones, kept it on the down low.
Again, our guest is the coach, Ronald Norred. This is the Ronald Norred Show. Rob Kendall is my name. We're coming to you from Hoosier Pizza right here in beautiful Brownsburg, corner of Northfield Drive and 136 all month long. Order the 16-inch pizza. Free sub comes with it, and some great lunch specials as well. We should tell everyone we're also going to have Coach Amy Brahman going to follow up Coach Norred here today, our girls basketball coach. It's kind of you to share your show.
That's fine with me.
Because you got the veto power when the show's named after you. But that's kind of you.
She deserves it. She's done a really good job this year. Their girls are fun to watch, and she deserves it for sure.
Can't picture Coach Knight ever sharing his show with the women's basketball coach at IU.
I don't think he shares much with anybody.
No. Great win, as we said. And we talked about a little bit, both on and off air. The schedule changes a little bit first or second half of the year, at least on paper, record-wise. How important was it to get that win to show the kids, hey, the schedule does change. If you play well, it's going to be a much better second half?
Well, I think the thing that we have to do first and foremost is make sure that our mindsets don't change towards the opponents that we play. No, we're not playing the Ben Davis, the Pikes, the Carmels of the world, Hamlin Southeasterns, those teams that are ranked top 10 in the state. But we are playing very competitive and hard-playing teams. And if our mentality changes and says, we're not playing those teams anymore, we can take some plays off, we can take some time off, then we're going to end up getting beat. And, I think we have to come out every single game and play as hard as we can, as focused as we can, and put ourselves in a position to win.
Now, I try to observe the game. I try to observe you. It's not often easy to do, but you got a little fired up a couple times there on the sidelines. Not that usual cool Coach Norred demeanor that we're used to seeing. Do you anticipate those moments? Are you tactically enact those moments where you get a little bit more fired up?
No, those moments usually come out of something. It's a triggered response. I would much rather stay on the sideline, hang out, call a good game, watch our guys execute the game plan than ever raise my voice. But sometimes.
Not me. I love to yell.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, 15 to 18-year-old boys will be boys and do things that you don't ask them to do, or not the best that they possibly can do it, and that's when those moments come.
Now, we have some questions tonight from the gallery, so we're going to have the gallery shout them in, and we'll relay them to the audience. Are
Awesome.
You ready? Chris Worley, who does some of the games with me here on Audio Sports Online, in attendance tonight. Chris, question.
We know Ronald likes to teams to play great defense. He has that great back. How do you sell those 15 to 18-year-old high school kids on playing good hard defense, which this team does every game? How do you sell those kids? You have to do that from day one.
Chris's question was selling the kids on the strong, the Butler tradition of defense the Ronald Norred way.
You do have to do that from day one. I think you have to come in and establish your foundation as, we're going to be a defensive program. This is what we're going to hang our hat on. This is how we're going to get to where we want to go. If we don't execute our defense the way we want to, then we're not going to ever be in a position to win a game. And so we did that early on. We broke down our defense. We broke down all the little pieces of our defense, and we have built on all season long. And honestly, at the beginning of the year, we didn't even have all of our defense in, and that's strictly our man-to-man defense, not anything else that we play. And we're still working on tweaking that and making it as good as it can be, and we're doing a good job of that. So I think our kids are sold. They're starting to understand this is what we do. I think you saw that against McCutcheon, a team that's averaging 54 points a game. We hold them to 39, and if we continue to do that, then we're going to have a pretty good end of the year.
Now, when you win a game, do you do the Belichick thing where you act like you're really unhappy and the team made many, many mistakes, or do you show that you're kind of excited? Are you Marty Morningwig, or are you Bill Belichick when you win a game?
A little bit of both. You have to talk about the things that you could have done better all the time, because you always have to be in a position to get better. If you ever stop and are satisfied with where you are or what you did, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And so the first thing that we talk about is the things that we can get better, and then we talk about what we did well and how we can move forward. And so there's never a celebration. There's never a time where we're going to be down on ourselves. It's always about how we can move forward.
You obviously have to, if the program is going to move forward, sell kids at this younger level of getting involved in Brownsburg basketball, coming out, being a part of that program at a young age. So you get basketball players playing basketball. What steps have you taken this year to try to cement that at the younger levels?
Well, we are already, we're a part of the Indy Hoops as it is, and Brownsburg's been doing Indy Hoops for a long time. A lot of our kids that we have at the high school now play Indy Hoops. We met early on with the middle school coaches about our system and the way that we wanted it to. Our coaching staff is assigned to a team, whether that's an Indy Hoops League team or a middle school team, to see how they're going, to see how their practices are going, to see how they're progressing. We went to middle school tryouts to evaluate. Our high school staff did. We were at middle school tryouts to evaluate, the kids that came and tried out. We were at our youth league tryouts, our Indy Hoops tryouts, to evaluate the kids. We've seen our Indy Hoops teams play a couple games, and we met with our Indy Hoops League coaches as well to talk to them about the kind of stuff that we're looking for, that's age appropriate for them, the kind of things that we want to build in our program. And one thing we really talked about was toughness. We really want to build toughness in our program. I honestly, when I came in, saw a lack of toughness, as a whole, with our group, and I think our group has completely taken on this toughness, Bulldog tough mindset, and they've done a really good job. Win or loss, they've been tough for the most part. And so we want to instill that in our second graders so that when they get to high school, that's not a conversation that we have to have anymore. We can focus more on basketball.
Again, our guest is the coach, Ronald Norred. It is the Ronald Norred Show. Rob Kendall is my name. We are at Hoosier Pizza, right there on the corner of Northfield Drive and 136 Marathon Gas parking shopping center. All month long, you come in, 16-inch pizza, you get a free sub with that. Great lunch specials as well. The $5 lunch special, as we learned so eloquently about from our friend Marcus Fredwell, who works with I think it's the 7th grade team.
Yeah, he does, sure does.
And thanks for taking pity on Marcus and giving him some work. He really needed
Always
that.
do.
Marcus helped out last Friday on the broadcast. We haul him up. He works cheap, and as I told Jeff, you can't beat volunteer labor.
No, you cannot ever.
Let's go back to Friday's game. Great defensive performance, as we talked about, but some strong offensive performances as well. Walton, in particular, what a great game for him.
He's really starting to mold into the player that he can be, and that's great for us because we need him to be really good. At the end of our Hamilton Southeastern game, we saw, first of all, I lit a fire in him, and then we saw the fire actually ignite for him on the floor. And that really carried over into our McCutcheon game. I thought he attacked the basket well. He was ready to shoot. He's not shooting a great percentage from three right now. But when he's down and ready to shoot that, we trust him to shoot it every time. He was ready to shoot. He made shots. He's a great offensive rebounder. So anytime he gets in there and get offensive rebound, he has an opportunity to put the ball back in the goal. And we were really impressed with his effort.
How excited were you for the Butler victory? I got to ask you one Butler question.
Oh, man, I can't describe it. That was the best game I had ever seen in Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Were you there?
I was there. Oh, yeah, I was on the court when the shot went in.
So you're still one of the ones that rushes the...
I did not rush the court.
Okay. You obeyed the law.
Well, yes. I thought, my first thought was I should go rush the court. My second thought was I am no longer a student here. I need to just grow up and
You're now an adult.
Be professional and just cheer from the side.
Well, I get told that all the time. It doesn't mean I act that way.
Exactly.
So thank you for setting a good example. Do people still recognize you? Like when you go to Butler games, do people go, "Hey, you look really, really familiar"?
They do. And again, like I said last week, that is not anything that I did. That just comes from the team that we had and what we were able to do as a team. And I was just fortunate to be a part of it.
All right, so Friday night, we got another big game. It's at home. It's got to be nice to have all these home games
It's
now.
beautiful. It's beautiful because we spent so much time on that bus. Now we get to enjoy our fans and our community here at home.
You need to tell Greg he needs to splurge for a nicer bus, like, something with the
you sleep on it.
Well, you're used to traveling in style.
Right, exactly. Flat screen TVs, wireless internet.
You're a quasi-celebrity. You demand nothing but the best. But it has to be nice looking at that schedule second half of the year and saying, man, we have a lot of home games.
It does, and it's important for us to protect our home court. Not only be happy that we get to play at home, but that's a place that's really difficult for teams to come in and win. And we have to play with that mentality, and hopefully we do from here on out.
Coach, obviously Friday night, another home game, as we said. It'll be Noblesville. What did the Millers bring to the table?
Noblesville's really good. They've been good for a long time. They're big. And not only are they big, they have guys that can make shots. They attack really well. They attack the basket really well. They attack the offensive glass really well. So it's going to be important for us to, first of all, stop them from getting looks in transition. Second of all, stopping their shooters from getting going. And then third of all, not letting them get to the rim. And then when they do shoot a shot, getting them off the glass.
How early do you start preparing for a team? Let's say, Noblesville's coming up January 25th. At what point do you start kind of looking at them?
We'll start our managers actually will start breaking down film for the other team the week.
Managers?
Yes.
High school kids?
Yep.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is. They'll start cutting it up for it to be ready for the coaches the week before the game. So they had already started last week.
I assume it's not literally cutting film anymore. It's literally some sort of software program.
Well, it's a software that you can cut the film through.
And I love how you use the coach phrase. Cut the film.
It's cutting the film up. So they'll have it ready for us to watch. And I'll begin watching on Monday. So we'll start. We watch the previous game stuff, our improvement on Monday with the team, even though we had to watch it today. And then I'll start watching the other team on Tuesday. We'll show the kids on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll go out and play Friday.
When you have games back-to-back, Friday, Saturday affair, how do you handle that?
Huddle's a really good tool for us. What you can do is you can already have the game broken down. So I'll have had, we play Friday, Saturday. We'll have the game broken down by Thursday, so that right after the game on Friday, and I'll break something down Friday, that right after the game Friday, I can send it an email to our kids of the film, of the other team and what they run and their personnel. They also can get it right on their phones. Huddle has an app that can go right on their phone. So
it's amazing, isn't it?
And the best part about it is I can see who watched it and who didn't.
So it's like that eye contact thing where you send it out and you can see it.
I can see it right then.
Do they know that you can see that?
They know it. They're very well aware. Some of them had to find out the hard way.
Yeah, and it underscores on some level the importance of not necessarily having a younger coach, but someone that understands technology, because what a great tool to be able for you to embrace that and use that with the kids.
Yeah, it's a fantastic tool, and I think our kids have done a really good job. The more the season has gone on, the better they have become at understanding what to do with the film that we give them. Because a lot of times you'll have a high school kid, and they just want to see, ooh, he made a shot, instead of learning from what they're watching and breaking it down to say, how can we game plan, or how can I guard this guy to make sure we take away the tendency that's being shown on film.
Right. Again, our guest is Ronald Norred. We're coming to you from Hoosier Pizza right here in Brownsburg on the corner of 136 and Northfield Drive, and encourage you to stop in. $5 lunch specials during the week. You got the 16-inch pizza with a free sub all month long for January, so come on in. Jeff, I told him about how he blew up your Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah.
So isn't that
good pizza?
It's great, isn't it?
It's really good pizza.
It's outstanding.
I literally sat there, didn't focus on anything except eating the whole pizza.
Well, you're a thin guy, so do you go home and eat the whole pizza? Because I used to do that.
I did.
Yeah.
I did that. I usually don't, because I like to save something for later. But I
don't feel bad about it at all. Like I feel
you shouldn't.
No, and that single guy mentality.
Exactly.
I'm gonna sit there and
eat
the whole pizza. We talked a little bit about this, because you still do play some basketball. You do all this coaching. Do you have a social life anymore? Your free time's like at a basketball game.
Not really.
At the
That's
Butler
literally,
game.
One of my players asked me. He said, "Coach, what do you do for fun?" I go and watch basketball games. Whether that's the other team, whether that's our girls, whether that's our middle school, whether that's Butler, I'm always at a basketball game.
Right.
That's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy learning from other people. I enjoy watching just as a fan.
Right.
And so I spend a lot of time just watching basketball.
And several people have commented on your involvement in the community. I mean, you were at the 4th of July parade.
Yeah.
And was that a conscientious effort on your part? Because there were people that said, man, this is a name guy that's coming in here, and you've really embraced being a Brownsburg Bulldog. You even live in town.
Right. What's important to me is for people to get to know who I am. I don't like being a guy that people just recognize and saying, oh, there's so-and-so. I want people to know who I am, what my values are, what I believe in, and get to know me on a personal level. Because I am a person, and I do enjoy being a person and not just a figure.
Yeah. Do your friends know that? Do they know don't call Ronald anymore? He won't answer the phone?
No. They'll know I am. They know that I love them to death. I still talk. Actually, I talked to a friend from Alabama for about 2 hours last night. One of my friends sent me a text the day of the Butler game and said, you know what, you might be a superstar up there, but you're a brother from another mother down here.
Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot and maybe start asking you to do this a little bit each week. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. You mentioned your student managers. They do a lot of stuff that people don't know about. So maybe if you could, and we'll start this as a tradition to get these kids some credit. One kid, student manager, whoever, that really does something that people don't know about.
One of our managers, Matthew Mace, he's awesome. He's one of our film breakdown guys. He also films each games. Matt's been a manager for the high school for the last couple of years. He's a freshman now, and he works really hard. Every day he comes in and says, hey, what film do I need to break down today? And sometimes I say, hey, this is the film we need. He sits in the office while we practice. He breaks it down so that I can go home and have it ready to watch when I get home. And so I'm really thankful for him and everything that he does for our program.
Any other questions from the gallery? It's like a wedding. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Or at least for a week. Fire away next week. Coach, thanks as always for taking the time to come out with us. Best of luck Friday night. We'll be out there. We're going to get a big win, and we'll see you next week right here.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
All right, that was the coach, Ronald Norred. For those of you listening on the radio station, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to speak with Amy Brahman, the head coach of the Lady Bulldogs, right here on AudioSportsOnline.com.